Good evening.
Right. Good evening, Dhamma friends.
Good evening, Bhante. Good evening, everyone.
Everybody.
Good evening, Bhante. Good evening, everybody.
We are almost meeting after 20 days. Couldn't do 2 weeks class. Anyways, we'll get started by paying respect to the sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo tassa bhagavatu arahatu samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavatu arahatu samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavatu arahatu samma sambuddhassa. All right. Today we are going to study another 2 stanzas of the Dhammapada. As you can see, there are 2 stanzas actually today for this for one story. The story is about a festival. Let's take a look at the stanzas first. Right, Dhammapada 26 and 27. Amade manu yunjanti bala dumme tino jana appama dancha medhavi dhanang settang rakkati. Once again. Pamada manu yunjanti bala dumme dino jana appama dancha medhavi dhanang settang rakkati. Okay, so as usual, I'll be asking groups to somebody from every group to read in the first place. Anyone from group 1 who would like to read this part? Yes, exit. Yes, go ahead.
Good evening, Bhante.
Yes, good evening.
Pamada manuyun janti bala dume dino jana apamadancha medavi danam setanam va rakkati. Danam setam va rakkati.
Settang va
Or setam va rakkati.
rakkati. Okay, good.
Thank you.
All right. And then someone from group 2. Yes. 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 Asking Kim. Yes, please.
Bhante.
Yes.
Manu yunjanti bala dome dino jana apa madang cha madavi danang setam ve rakati.
Okay, great. And group 3. Yeah, someone from group 3.
Bhante, can I?
Yes. Yes, correct.
Pamada manu yunjanti bala dammehino jana.
Dumme dino.
Bala dumehino jana.
Dumme dino jana.
Dume dino jana. Okay, bala dume dino jana. Apa madancha medavi. Danam satam wa rakati. Ratam sikta wa rakati.
Rakati. Okay, good. And group 4, yes, KBL, please.
Thank you, Bhante.
Yes.
Pamada manu yunjanti Bala dume dino jana. Apamadan che midawi. Danang sitangwa rakati.
Great.
Thank you.
And group 5. Yes, Melinda.
Thank you, Bhante. Pamada Madu Yun Chanti, Bala Dume Dino Jana, Apamadam Ch Medavi, Danam Setamwa Rakati.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
And group 6. Yeah, group 6. Yes, Margaret, let's go ahead. Can you unmute, please? Yes.
Okay.
Okay, good.
Pamada Manu Yun Janti Bala Dume Dino Jana Apa Madam Ce Medanvi Danam Setamva Prakati.
Great. And group 7. Yeah, Shirley, please.
Thank you, Bhante.
Yes.
Pamada Manu Yun Janti Bala Dume Dino Jana Apamadan Jamidavi Danang Setangwa Rakati.
Hey, great. Did you become a novice lately?
Yes,
Oh, great, great. For how long?
until 18.
Okay, good, good.
Thank you, Bhante.
All right. Then we have group 8, last group. Oh, Doris, please go ahead.
Thank you, Bhante.
Yes.
Pamada Manu Yun Janti. Bala dume dino jana. Apamadan che medavi. Danam sitamva rakati.
Great.
Thank you.
Okay, so anybody else? Now we are going to give the opportunity to others. You can raise your hand. Yes. We will start with Oi.
Thank you, Bhante.
Yes.
Pamada Manuyun Janti Bala
Bala.
Dumedi
Bala.
Bala
Bala.
Bala Dumedino Jana Apamadan Ce Medavi Danang Sitamwa Prakati.
Okay, great. And we have Jenny. So,
Thank you, Bhante. Pamada Manu Yun Janti Bala Dume Dino Jana Apamadan Ce Medavi Danang Setamwa Rakati.
okay, great.
Thank you.
Have Ochoa, please.
Good afternoon, Bhante.
Yes.
Pamada Manu Yun Janji Bala Dume Dino Jana Apamadan Ce Medavi Danang Setangwa Rakati.
Okay, great.
Thank you, Bhante.
Yes, we have 9 changes.
Thank you, Bhante. Pamada Manuyun Janti Bala Dume Dino Jana Apamadan Ce Medavi Danang Sitangwa Rakati.
Okay, great. And
Thank you, Bhante.
we have Pauline. Yes.
Sukihoto Bhante and everyone.
Sukihoto.
Pamada Manu Yun Janti Bala Dume Dino Jana Apamadang Ce Medavi Danang Setamwa Rakati.
Okay, great.
Thank you,
We
Bhante.
have Chong Pakla, please.
Thank you, Bhante.
Yes.
Pamada Manuyun Janti Bala Dumedino Jana Apamadan Cha Medavi Danam Setamwa Rakati.
Yeah, great.
Thank you.
CH, please.
Okay, thank you, Bhante. Okay.
Yes.
Pamada Manoyunjanti Bala Dumehino Jana.
Dumedino.
Bala Dumedino. Okay.
Dumedino.
Bala Dumedino Jana. Apamada Cha Medavi Danam Sitamwa Rakati.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
All right. Is there anybody else who would like to read this stanza? Okay, if not, we're going to go to the next stanza. Ma pamad manu yunjeta ma kamarati santava appamatu hi jayanto papputi vipulam sukha. Ma pamad manu yunjeta ma kamarati santava appamatu hi jayanto papputi vipulam sukha. You can see it's the good side of the exactly the good side of the idea. Okay. All right. So we'll be asking from groups. Group 1. Yeah. Someone from group 1. Yes. Excellent. Go ahead.
Thank you, Bhante. Ma pama damanu yun jeta. Ma kamarati santawam.
Ma kamarati.
Ma kamarati santawam. Apamato hi jayanto. Papati vipulam sukham.
Great. And group 2. Yes. Yes, Kim, please go ahead.
Thank you. Ma pamada manu yunjata.
Yunjeta.
Ma kamarati sangkavang. Apa matohi jayanto. Papoti vipulang sukang.
Great. And group 3. Someone from group 3. Yes, Jenny, please go ahead.
Thank you, Bhante.
Yes.
Ma pamada manu yunjeta ma kamarati santavam. Apa mato hi jayanto papoti vipulang sukham.
Great.
Thank you.
And group 4, can you help this? Yes.
Thank you, Bhante.
Yes.
Ma pamada manu yunjeta. Ma kamarati santavam. Apamato hi jayanto. Papoti vipulang sukang.
Okay, great. And
Thank you.
group 5. Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
Thank you, Bhante. Ma pamada malu yunjeta ma kamarati santawan appamato hijayanto papoti vipulam sukham.
Okay, great. And
Thank you.
I'll be asking group 6. Someone from group 6. Yes, correct, please.
Ma pamadamanu yunjeta. Ma kamarati santavam.
Kamarati.
Samarati.
Ma kamarati.
Kamarati. Kamarati santavam. Apa matohi jayanto papoti vi pulam sukam.
Great.
Thank
Okay, so
you.
when anyone reads Pali, pay attention to the diacritical marks that are above the letter. Yeah. See, you can see here. So that is how the Pali words are getting different from short letters versus long letters. So that's pretty easy. So when you read, look at what's above the letter. So it's easy to read. All right, so group 7. Yes, Shirley.
Ma pamadama nuyunjeta. Ma kamarati santavang. Apamato hi jayanto. Papoti vipulang sukhang.
Okay, great.
You, Bhante.
And group 7. Shirley, are you from group 7?
Yes.
Okay, then group 8. Yes. Okay, no, please go ahead.
Thank you, Bhante.
Yes.
Ma pamadamanu yunjeta. Ma kamarati santavam. Apamato hi jayanto papoti vipulam sukam.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
And now the opportunity is for others who would like to read. Yeah, so we will start with Oi. Yes. Go ahead.
Thank you, Bhante.
Yes.
Ma pamada manu yunjeta ma kamarati santawang apamato hi jayanto papoti vipulang sukang.
Great. And Ojua, please.
Thank you, Bhante.
Yes.
Ma pamada manu yunjeta. Ma kamarasti santawang. Apamato hi jayanto. Papoti vipulang sukam.
Great. And then
Thank
we
you,
have
Bhante.
Chen. Yes.
Thank you, Bhante.
Yes.
Ma pamada manu yunjeta. Ma kamarati santavang. Apamato hi jayanto. Papoti vipulang sukhang.
Okay, great. And we have Susan, please.
Thank you, Bhante.
Yes.
Ma pamada manu yunjeta. Ma kamarati santavam. Apamato hi jayanto. Papoti vipulam sukam.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
And we have Champakla. Yes.
Thank you, Bhante.
Yes.
Ma pamada manu yunjeta. Ma kamarati santavam. Apamato hi jayanto. Papoti vipulam sukham.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
We have Corey. Yes.
Yeah, back to the Bhante. Okay.
Yes.
Ma pada pama de manu yun jeta ma kamarati santawam apa mato hi jayanto papoti vipulam sukam.
Hey, great. Anybody else? Anybody else who would like to read? seems that there are no at this point. We are going to go back to the 26th stanza. The first stanza we are going to deal. Pamada manu yunjanti bala dumme dino jana appamadancha medhavi danang settang rakkati. As you can see here, there is a kind of a space. The thing here is that the meaning has gone to the fourth line. This is the meaning, because we have to take it that way. We have to take appamadang to the fourth line. That's why I just left only having vowels. Pamada manu yunjanti bala dumme dino jana. This is what many unwise people do. What they do? They have been understood in couple Pali words, bala and then dumme dino. Bala means this Pali word goes with another Pali word. Call it bala, and then what's the opposite word to bala? No, the Pali word pandita. Pandita, right? Bala, pandita, and another word, another two words go with sappurisa and asappurisa. Sappurisa and asappurisa. Asappurisa. So bala and pandita, sappurisa and asappurisa. So here bala means unwise people. There are many meanings of bala. One meaning is little ones. You can say those who are younger than maybe those who are very young, probably maybe teenagers. Yeah, those kind of people. That's a good one. But here, bala means those unwise people. Do we find this Pali word in other places? Any thoughts? Do we find this in other places?
Mangala Sutta, Bhante?
Yeah, we find it in the Mangala Sutta. How do we find in the Mangala Sutta?
Asevanacha bala.
Asevanacha bala. The Buddha asks, if you want to create blessings in your life, the first blessing that we have to create in our life is stay away from the unwise people, right? All the other blessings start when we are staying away with the unwise people. That is the first blessing in our life. If you messed up with that first blessing, although you have other things in your life, then I think it's very difficult for you to keep up with the spiritual Dhamma life, spiritual life. So here in the same way, bala, those kind of unwise people. And there's another Pali word that was given to recognize bala, dumme dino. Now medha, Pali word medha. Medha means wisdom. This is another Pali word for the wisdom. Panya. But medha is normally used to say someone who has wisdom. Now we know the Pali word panya. But we can also say panyava, the one who has wisdom. But normally when we say someone has wisdom, we understand that person as medhavino, or medino, or medhavi. But here, medino, who lack the wisdom. So those unwise, we go for foolish, unwise. Jana means people. What are they doing in the normal life? Pamad manu yunjanti. Now here, this is A, manu yunjanti. They give themselves over to the negligence. Pamad. They are giving them to pamad. What does pamad mean? I think we discussed that. we discuss about pamada. What does pamada mean? Pamada means being late in the proper engagement of the spiritual Dhamma path. So if you are late, if you are delayed in the proper execution of the Dhamma path, then that is what you call by pamad. There are people who understand that they need to be urgent in their path, but they are not in the right path. They do something, but they are in the different paths, the right path. So it's very important to be on the right path. What is the right path? Is it my path or your path? What is the right path? So, right path is Noble Eightfold Path, nothing else. So all our Dhamma journeys should direct onto the Noble Eightfold Path. I think we have repeatedly discussed about this thing. We have discussed that how to get started the Noble Eightfold Path. How to get started the Noble Eightfold Path? First, what do we need?
Right view, Bhante. Right view, is it?
First, we need Yoniso Manasikara, wise attention. That is how you are going to make the move onto the Samadhi, right way. Because without Yoniso Manasikara, we cannot understand anything. Now, most of the problems that we are dealing in our life, even now, they are coming because we don't have Yoniso Manasikara. We don't look at the problem completely. We only look at it from a marginal, fractional point of that problem, that matter. Right? I think I discussed with that some time ago. And I did a whole retreat about wise attention at Tiratana Vihar clan a couple of months ago about wise attention. So also one in Penang, I think, some time ago. So and I said that there is a very simple example to understand also Manasikara. It's like the opposite of Yoniso Manasikara, Ayoniso Manasikara, at A before Yoniso. So most people, they deal with Ayoniso Manasikara. That means unwise attention. What is unwise attention? Looking at any matter, any problem, anything, any phenomenon, any experience only from a fractional, certain level of the problem. You might say that I'm not, or you are not very competent enough to do that. That means you have not still cultivated the proper competency in putting it into practice. So the example for this is an iceberg. So normally we see the tip of the iceberg, which is above the sea level. But that's the tip of the iceberg. But there's a huge area of the iceberg below the sea level. So if we are going to understand the iceberg only from the tip, just as how many people try to understand problems only from a certain area of the problem matter, we are not going to solve the problem. We are not going to understand what's going on. Look at your normal life. The petty, simple arguments that you may be having every day with your loved ones. You think that you are making them because you have Yoniso Manasikara? It's not even spiritual. It's something about our life. How to be competent in our thinking. How to be competent in our dealing with other people. You know. So you think that whatever you think, whatever you share, whatever you understand is the highest, greatest, probably the most important. But if you give some time, space for understanding at least the issue in a little bit larger, broader perspective. And we are going to understand. We are going to really find solutions to the problem. So that is Yoniso Manasikara. If you don't have it, you have Ayoniso Manasikara. So how to begin the Noble Eightfold Path? By starting off the Yoniso Manasikara. So when you have Yoniso Manasikara, then only you are able to work on the right view. Samadhi. Samadhi is mostly natural with the Yoniso Manasikara. So the Buddha said it many times, Samadhi propels, Samadhi brings, Yoniso Manasikara brings, Yoniso Manasikara propels someone onto the Samadhi. So, Noble Eightfold Path. So, this is our Dhammapada. This must be our Dhammapada. It is not our, it is not someone's normal activities that someone does, going to the vihara, lighting some candles, giving some 1, 2, 3 dana items. They are part of it. They are part of it. But the fuller, bigger journey is the Noble Eightfold. So we have to be able to fulfill each of these 8 as much as we can in our lifetime. Not only one. I think I suggested you to start with Yoniso Manasikara, then Samadhi, Sama Sankappa, Sama Vacha, Sama Kammanta, Sama Ajiva, Sama Vayam, Sama Sati, Sama Samadhi. But then when you have a good sense of what those Noble Eightfold Path factors are, then you can practice them simultaneously, not one by one, because then you are looking for the opportunities. You are looking for opportunities. Whatever the opportunity is going to arise, you are going to make it an opportunity of your practice. It's like, don't look for the good people for giving dhan. Try to find opportunities to give dhan. Right? But there is a certain sutta called Velama Sutta. The Buddha talks about certain dhanas, actually. That means if you give a dana to a Sotapanna person, if you give a dana to other enlightened followers, you might get different benefits. But the proper way to be generous is not looking for the recipients, whatever the good recipients. Just find opportunities to be generous. That is how we are supposed to practice dana. Otherwise, we are practicing dana like how some people practice metta. They give more love to their beloved ones and oneself, and they decrease their love towards other people and asking and saying that it's normal, commonplace, I can love myself, I can love my loved ones better than other people. So I do the same thing in my metta. In the same way, we understand this is going to be not Buddhist friendly, because the Buddha said in the Metta Sutta, our metta has to be boundless sambadana. Not bound to be, it should be boundless. So if you think that you only look for the enlightenment people, enlightened folks, then your dana will be limited. Okay. All right, going back to the stanza here again. Okay. So the unwise, foolish people, they give themselves over to negligence. They are making way, they're making everything in their life over to the negligence. Anu yunjanti. Anu yunjanti. Give. It's like that someone is going to direct oneself towards pamad, negligence. Any example that you have witnessed in your life about other people? I know that it's not important to us. We are worried about other people. Like how the Buddha told us about Bhadavagya friends. I think I shared with you the story. Bhadavagya friends, they were royal children. So I think probably 20, 30 Bhadavagya royal children. They went for a camping trip. So they had girlfriends and one didn't have one. So then this person brought an escort to the camping thing. What happened? She was a thief and she took away everybody's jewelries and she ran. And now everybody's looking for their jewelries. What happened to our jewelries? Maybe this lady took away all these things. And Buddha was somewhere in that forest. And they thought maybe this monk can tell us what happened. They don't know whether he's a Buddha or not. But they, did you see this kind of a person who was going with our jewelries? And Buddha, having understood the meritorious abilities of the Bhadavagya royal children, he asked, what is more important? Is it checking what other people do? Or is it minding your own business? Then the royal children said, Bhante, yes, minding our own thing is the best thing in our Dhamma practice. We don't want to worry about how other people do. Yes, apparently there is a robbery happened over here. But this could be a good moment to understand that, to mind your own Dhamma journey. Right? So, with that in mind, but anyway, have you ever witnessed someone who is on to pamad, negligence? Maybe you may have, definitely you may have witnessed, you may have observed. One of the very key things that we can notice in someone's delayed journey, Dhamma journey, is that this person does not work on his or her spiritual path. Right? So that is the indication. So definitely, the people in the story, which we will be discussing later, they were into pamad, negligence. That's why the stanza say, unwise, foolish people, they give themselves over to negligence. But appamadancha medhavina, wise people, they protect diligence, appamada, as the greatest treasure. Dhanam settang. Setta means the greatest. Settang eva means the wise people always consider that appamada is the greatest treasure that they can have in their life. Now, how do we understand this in our normal life, daily life? What do you think? Have you ever considered your Dhamma practice, going to listen to a Dhamma talk, practicing this Dhamma in your daily life? They are very, were they telling you that you are really doing something that you are supposed to do in your spiritual life? Or you know that this is what you are supposed to be on, right? That means you have considered that your practice, the motivation to your practice initially comes from diligence. And so that means we need great amount of energy. We need great amount of effort as well. That's how we are going to continue our Dhamma journey. So the Buddha is saying that those people who are lazy, who don't understand the proper Dhamma, they are giving themselves over to a lot of negligent practices, a lot of unnecessary negligent practices. But those who understand the preciousness of this life, spiritual life, they are trying to work on the Dhammapada, the spiritual path, Noble Eightfold Path. So they, in other words, that means that they consider appamada, diligence, as the greatest treasure in their life. Now, you know, there are people who are saying when they are very close to their loved ones, I treasure this moment, right? I cherish I cherish this moment. I treasure every experience I've been having with my mother, my father, maybe partners, a spouse, friends, whoever. But out of all the treasuring in their life, the most important treasure that someone can consider in one's life is inclination, working more towards on the application of the Dhamma. That means starting with the Yoniso Manasikara, then moving on to the noble path factors. All right, any questions about this stanza? Any questions about maybe Pali or maybe idea? Right.
Excuse me, Bhante.
Yes.
The Manu Yunjanti is made up of what word? The compound word is
Okay, it is a combination, sandhi. I could do like this. Actually, it should be Anu Yunjanti. Anu Yunjanti. But why it is normally this these two Pali words, they are written together, like here. You can see here, Pamada Manu Yun. This is a combination sandhi. There is no there is only so it's a sandhi. You don't have to worry about it. Anu Yunjanti. Anu Yunjanti means give oneself over to something.
the M is the insertion, right?
M is a combination. Call it sandhi.
Okay, got it. Thank you very much.
Yeah. If you decombine, separate the two Pali words, it's going to be Pamada and Anu Yunjanti. But, you know, in Pali, you see a lot of combinations. Why is it? Why there are a lot of combinations in Pali
Meter?
language?
Is it a meter?
Why?
The meter?
Meter is one thing, but
for pronunciation's sake. For pronunciation's sake.
Actually, a lot of words have been either combined or compounded. We call it sandhi or samasa, because these teachings have been handed down to us through memorization. So these senior monks, they have been memorizing these stanzas, and then so they found the best way, maybe the easiest way to do the memorization. That's why they shorten. Maybe sometimes they use combination sandhi or samasa. Sandhi means shortening with the words. Samasa means shortening the idea. Shortening the words is sandhi, combination, and shortening the idea is samasa. We call it compound. So don't worry about these things, because what you need is just to separate out and understand the Pali words. Any other questions about this stanza? I'm going to show you again. Yeah, this one. Yes, Pauline, yes.
Bhante, the dot with the M, it's a NG, or I'm a bit not too sure about that. With the dot on top of the M, is it NG, or how do we pronounce that?
It's a nasal. Danang.
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 Yeah, this one, Danang. Like Sikha Padang.
Padang.
5%.
So it's the same as
Sikha
that?
Padang.
Padang. It's the same?
Yeah, Padang.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
It's a nasal.
Bhante, one more thing. How do we work out that diligence? Is it, like you said, through wise consideration, keep on contemplating, is it? How do we develop that negligence? I mean, the diligence, so that we are not negligent, you know? it's so easy to fall into negligence, with all the distractions.
I think the proper inspiration, motivation is what diligence does in our, in our thoughts, in our mentality. That means if you are not properly inspired, motivated into Dhamma practice, that means you are not able to practice it. So it affects in many ways. I mean, in order to create appamada, you need a couple of things. One is your own motivation. Then you need continuous inspiration. Also, you need kalyana mitras. Sometimes solo practice is not enough. Like we get very bored time to time. One thing is you don't know Pali very well, right? If you look at the Pali context, you're not going to be an expert one day. But what you need is the important Pali references, the important Pali suttas, not everything. So basically, self-motivation, continuous inspiration, kalyana mitras, and then creating opportunities for you to practice your Dhamma. So in order for you to bring your appamada into the practice, we have to look at these areas in your life. Let's say if you are not really motivated, if you are not really inspired, and if you are not surrounded by the right kind of people, then I think appamada has not really influenced you. Because that means we have to create conditions to take effect with the appamada. So that's how we are going to look at it. Otherwise, everybody knows that we have to have a certain urgency of preparation. But in many people's life, it has not happened. Why is it? They were not properly motivated. They were not properly inspired. Maybe the way how they learn Dhamma, right? Maybe not. Maybe they have not learned in the proper context, right? So all these aspects have to be studied in terms of understanding appamada. So basically, I would say appamada is the the main kusala activity that we can cultivate in our spiritual life. Now, say for instance, forget about motivation people, forget about inspiration people, forget about kalyana mitras. So that means we have to come up with a certain thought that we need to start this. Then we will look for people. Then we will look for kalyana mitras. Then we will look for the... Now say for instance, you want to learn Dhamma. Where to begin this Dhamma journey? How do you know the proper place to begin that Dhamma journey? Can you go Google that on internet? It's very difficult. You might find a lot of information, bunch of information. Sometimes one information is not okay with the other information. Sometimes you will see a lot of views of other people. So that means you need a teacher, right? Teacher, then someone who can motivate you, kalyana mitras. Also, you should need your own right effort to begin the journey. So that's how we have to look at appamada. Now, take the other side of appamada. Now, are we people who are very punctual? Let's begin with that particular thing, and that's also very important, right? I think this is something we already everyday experience. Are we starting everything at the right time? Are we sometimes promising people we would come there, but we are going to be late, always? So, I normally say that if you are promising someone and then you are always getting late, means you are stealing that person's time. Adinada, the second precept, you are breaking. Because that person cannot do any other thing. You are not 1 day or 2 days. Your habit is, your virtue is, you are you are frequently late, right? So that means we can understand sort of basic things about appamada from punctuality. Now I know that and you also understand when we are going to be punctual, I think we have to get ready for that. How to go to a place at the right time. We have to get ready earlier and plan. How to be on time with somebody. How to fulfill the promises that we make to other people. I think we need certain preparation for all that. So in the same way, think about the Dhammapada. You have to have a good preparation for that. So mundane, appamada, upamada, and then the supramundane, I would say transcendental, Dhammapada level of appamada. These are two things that we need to work on. That means, if you ask me how to practice appamada, I initially encourage you to be a punctual person. But don't become a perfectionist. There are some people who are overly perfectionist and they are trying to blame other people also. Hey, I came, you are not coming, such a bad person, you are taking my time. Become a noisy person like that. Just create a habit that you are on time. Give a good impression to other people happily. You are doing it with happiness. Sometimes people may be late. That is their problem. It's not my problem. It's not your problem. But create a certain level of punctuality and then win the hearts of others. Even I be late, that person is not going to be late. Let's say not even the timing, promises. There are many people in this world who are making promises, but they are not going to fulfill them. It's also part of mundane punctuality, right? So if we are getting ready for the appamada in our mundane life, being late, being punctual, then promising, and then fulfilling the promises we made to other people, I think then that is a good start to work on the spiritual level of appamada, like what we are discussing here. Right? I think that's very important. Because time and energy are very important in our Dhamma practice. Time and energy. Sometimes you know a lot of Dhamma, but you are not very considerable with your timing. Also energy. You know a lot of Dhamma. Wow. Bombarded with a lot of knowledge about Dhamma. But you don't know how to put that Dhamma knowledge into time. You don't know how to do it with your energy. Then you are in the same place. That's why time and energy, by considering how to really utilize your time and then energy in your mundane level of pamada, appamada, will be a good starting point to think about. Work really towards on the spiritual level of appamada, which we are discussing. We have been discussing. All right.
Bhante, it looks like the Dharma is for people with little dust in their eyes because, to meet a human being that is even that's quite a very good, very keeps their promise, comes on time, very, that kind of very disciplined, but yet friendly and benevolent person. It's not easy to meet, to even be that kind of person.
Why? They have not been cultivating those virtues in their normal life. Don't think about the spiritual life. Now think about the timing. Why many people cannot make to the right time? They are not really concerned about what to do in that timing. They are always getting late. Okay. What about fulfilling let's say, meeting a project with a deadline? There are people who are not making it all the time. They are saying, I had this issue, that issue, I don't know how to approach. So please forgive me, give me a grace period. Right? Not one time, two time, three time. Why this is happening every day? Because they don't cultivate normal human virtues. The starting point of the appamada. Without doing that, how to practice appamada in the spiritual level? That's a higher level. So I think if you are very disciplined, as you said, that's a good term. If you are a disciplined person, you know how to cultivate those virtues. I remember one person who was explaining about another person, an academic person, about such a very good person, very well read, and then doing innovative things and everything. But there's a small problem. Say, we all are concerned about it now. Small, tiny problem. But I think always getting late for anything. You know? So I think that ruins everything. Well-readness, energy, timing, all gone. Right? In the same way, if somebody is going to say, oh, very talented, very good, very well read, but there's a small issue. This person gets angry even in a moment. Everything is gone. Anger ruins that person all the good character. So I want to connect being diligent as a secular, normal life virtue that we all have to work on. Right? Normally we take it from cultures. We go to Japan, you see how people are disciplined, you know, timing and no problem. I mean, we don't take it from countries. There are people who can think about, I want to make myself a better person. Right? And I want to make myself someone who is going to embrace this infinite space of Dhamma. How to do it? I need to be punctual. Without being punctual, how to get to that level? What does being punctual mean? That means every day I have to read Dhamma books from 8 to 10. No. Today, somewhere during today, I need to read this part of the Dhamma teaching. I'm going to cover it no matter what it be the morning or the evening. Maybe I want to practice it today, somewhere during today. I'm going to make it happen. You're going to make it happen because you have energy and then the timing. But there are people, you can ask them, what's the problem? We are too busy to practice Dhamma. No time. But you don't have to spend more a different time for the practice of Dhamma. It is the time itself that you are creating time for the Dhamma. You say you are working, you are doing other things, you will see the time and then the energy in that particular task in the Buddhist way. I think we can discuss that more and more a little later. Just keep continuing the stanzas. Okay, so we understand now the unwise people, they give themselves over to negligence all the time because they don't know how to become punctual people in their Dhamma practice, not even Dhamma practice, even in their secular normal life. But Meda, wise people, normally we don't call Panyava. We normally call someone who has a Panya, we call Medhavi. Does anybody have a Dhamma name called Medhavi? Yeah? No, normally our friends have Dhamma names. Dhamma name Sujata, so and so on. But Medhavi is a very good Dhamma. That means someone who has wisdom. Normally we take Panya separately. So someone who has wisdom is Medhavi. So if you are a person who has true wisdom in your life, then you use Appamada as the greatest Siddhamvadana, greatest treasure. You want to protect it, Rakkati. You want to protect it all the time. Because why the Buddha says we have to protect it? Time to time, we will become very laid down. We will become lazy. Time to time, our energy may run out. So we need to understand that we are supposed to take care of it every time, all the time, as much as possible. That's why Buddha said, Rakkati, protect your Appamada quality that you have in your life. Protect it. Don't lose it. Okay, let's go to the next stanza. Ma pamada manu yunjeta ma kama rati santavam appamato hi jayanto pappoti vipulang sukha. All right, now this stanza is all about good stuff. How to work on this appam. Ma. Ma means, what does ma mean in Pali? Ma. Ma is mother. Does ma mean mother? In some languages, they say ma means. But in Pali, ma means no. Do not. The Buddha said in one place, Ma bhai bhikkave punyasa. Don't be afraid in doing good karma. Ma bhai, don't be afraid in doing good karma. Just be fearless in doing good karma. Right? Ma bhai. Then ma nivatta, abhikkama. Don't stop. Ma nivatta, don't stop. So anyways, there are many prepositions that we understand in places. Ma means don't. Pama the manuyunji. Now here people give them to negligence. Buddha says, don't give. Ma pamad anuyunji. Don't give yourself to negligence. At the same time, ma don't addict. I think the better wording would be addict. Addict. Yeah, so you can say devote. Don't addict or don't devote yourself to sensual pleasures. Kamarati santava. Kamarati means the sensual pleasure. Sensual pleasure. Santava means don't devote yourself in the experience of the sensual pleasures. Now don't misunderstand me. I wanted to add addiction. Everybody cannot live their life without sensual pleasures. Right? Can you live without what you want to see? Who you want to see? Can you live without what you want to hear? Can you live without what you want to smell? Can you live without what you want to eat? Can you live without what you want to taste and then touch? Can you live without the thoughts that you want to have? It's difficult. It's not going to work. That means we all are living in the samsara, even at this point of time in our life, with a certain happiness with our own sensual pleasures. Think about it. We are going to end this discussion in another 30 minutes, 7 o'clock. Think about what is going to happen after that. Maybe you want to have a sumptuous meal now, thinking about it. Oh, I'm going to eat it. This happiness of eating, not in 30 minutes, maybe after that, probably. Maybe you are still cooking that dish or whatever. Ordering. That happiness is here. That helps you to survive in this life. The Buddha doesn't talk about those things. They are okay because we have to live. But there's a problem. There are people, when they go to experience karmas, sensual pleasures, they get addicted to that. That is the problem. It's like you wanna eat a piece of cake today, coffee cake or whatever the cake you want, velvet or whatever cake. But there's someone who's thinking, I wanna eat cake every day, maybe more cakes every day. That is addiction. I want to have a coffee today, but you are going to increase the number of coffees you are having. You are addicted to coffee. Not that you want to have a coffee. You are addicted, right? Let's say you wanted to have something else, same thing. But if you are getting addicted, say for instance, nowadays people are very much addicted to phones and social media and gadgets, right? It's okay to go check out our emails and then spend some time. But what if there's someone who is saying very honestly, you know what, I really want to get out of this thing when I don't want, but I cannot. Because when I go to YouTube tells me autoplay. They are suggesting me videos. Hey, don't exit from YouTube. Keep watching YouTube. How to watch the video I want, and then when I want to come back. Why? If someone cannot do this kind of practice in the social media awareness, it is because they have been addicted secretly, unwillingly. So this is the problem. Sensual pleasures are okay if you are consuming in the proper, your own way. As long as you know that it is under my control, it is under my management. But if your sensual pleasures are going to take you over, then that is what the Buddha says here. Kama rati santama. Don't addict to sensual pleasure. Santama means the experience of kama rati. Appa matto hi jayanto. Now Buddha is suggesting what to do. Be diligent, not even be diligent. Jayanto, jayanto. This Pali word comes from jhana. Jhana. What does jhana mean?
Bhante, is it mental absorption?
Yeah, that is the English translation. I'm asking, what is jhana? What does jhana mean? Jhana means this jhana, Pali word jhana comes from ja. To japet. Japet. Japeti means to burn. What are we going to burn? 5 hindrances. Initially. 5 hindrances. That means how to really bring us to Appamad. We need to be able to remove 5 hindrances as much as we can. What are the 5 hindrances? Kamachanda, Vyapada, Tinamidda, Uddachakutta, Vichikechas. These are the 5 things that are always troubling us. You want to experience life, but the Kamachanda is going to take you over. Right? And then you want to be a good person, but your inability to manage yourself will bring you to ill will. Right? And then Tinamid, laziness, energy problem. Then remorse, and then restlessness. These are not very difficult things. They are happening in our daily life. So Buddha says, if you really want to stay on to the Appamada, you need to remove these 5 on a daily basis. We call it Jayanti, practicing kind of a jhana perspective. And then by doing so, you are creating something. Vipulam. Vipulam means abundant. Sukha means happiness. Pappudi, you attain an abundant amount of happiness. All right. Now, the Buddha says, don't give to negligence. Don't addict to sensual pleasure. Addict to, don't addict. You can enjoy sensual. Don't addict to. Be diligent that you will use jhanas, practice of removing 5 hindrances in life to do that. Thereby, you are attaining an abundant level of happiness. This happiness is both physical and mental happiness. Sukha. All right, I think I have to explain to you a couple of things here. I'm going to take karma. How many karmas are there? How many categories of karmas are there? Karma. There are 2 types of karma. One is vattu karma. The other one is kilesa karma. Okay, we have to understand these 2. Now, oftentimes, what is happening is that karma is normally a kilesa thought. Right? It is a kilesa. It is lying at the mental level. Karma initially is a kilesa category. But then there are people who cannot manage their karmas, then they will go to the vattu level. They want to objectify. They want to touch those karmas. They want to physically own those karmas. How to say that in a very simple layman example? Let's say you have had your dinner already. Suppose you have had your dinner already. And then now you are full. But still you want to eat. Not because that you want to eat. You really want to eat. Because you have this compulsive thought of eating. That means you are not eating for hunger, you are eating for fun. You are just eating just because you want to buy. But that is called vattukam. Kilesakama means you may want to eat even after your dinner, but you somehow manage, no, I'm not going to buy it, It's unnecessary. You are going to manage your kilesakama. But there are people who cannot manage their kilesakama, they even go to vattukam. So, karma arises in our life in two ways. What are the two ways? Kilesakama and vattukama. So, we have to be very careful with these things. Now, let me ask you a question about it. Let's say, if we ask from someone, if you are to own everything that you really like in your life, where would you have ended in your life? Let's say when we see people, when we hear things, when we smell things, when we taste things, a lot of temptations can arise in anybody's life. If we were going to own everything that we really like, where would have we ended in our life? We would have ended in a very chaotic place of our life. But we were able to manage our kilesakamas. No, I'm not going to own them. Right? Have you ever done that? You really like it, but you didn't want to own it. You were able to manage your vattukama, kilesakama. That's a good approach. So Buddha said, if you are really want to work on with your karmas, don't take karma as a very general thing. Karma appears in our life in both kilesakama and vattukama. So we have to work on these two things. Okay, that's karma. And then the Buddha is saying, don't addict to karmas, those vattukama, kilesakama, vattukama. And then trying to practice what you call jhanas. Jhana here doesn't mean first, second, third, fourth jhanas. It initially means that you are trying to work on removing, getting rid of 5 hindrances, and then thereby you are creating lots of happiness. All right, I think I have to share with you the story, and then I will let you ask any question. Bala Nakat. Okay. When the Buddha was living in the Savatthi, once there was a carnival, very bad carnival, those rowdy young people, they were shouting, they were using vulgar words for a week. If you talk to them, they are talking to you in very bad words, very harsh words for a week. So the devotees of this Jetavana told the Buddha, Bhante, don't go out for Pindapat. Stay in the temple. We will bring the food, dana, to the temple. So what was happening is that these rowdy people, young people, they went from one house to the other house, and then they knock each door and then ask him money. Give us a penny, give us a couple pennies, kahapanas. So people really didn't like, so they normally give 1 penny. So for a whole 1 week, they were doing this. They were not only just doing it, they have smeared, they have applied 2 things in their bodies before they go to houses. One is ashes, the other one is cow dung. So their bodies were smeared with ashes and cow dung, and then going to knock every door. It was a very, very bad experience to everybody in the city for 1 week. So this festival, it was a festival in their own way. They call it Bala Nakat. Bala Nakat festival, which lasted for a week. And then after 1 week, when they finished the carnival, the devotees of the Jetavana approached the Buddha and said, Bhante, the reason why we told us not to come out of the temple is because these people are talking to us with very harsh words, and then it was not good for you to go out and all that. And the Buddha said, I understand these people are into negligence, pamad. These people have given themselves onto the pamad. They are not people who are practicing appamad. Actually, if you are someone who is scolding other people, who is using very rough words onto other people, that's a clear indication that you have never understood appamad. Why is it? There is a sutta in the Samyutta Nikaya or Anguttara Nikaya. The Buddha says, if people know, just as how I understand the importance of dana, they would have never eaten any food without sharing with anybody. If people understand to the extent I understand the importance of giving, sharing food or whatever, nobody will eat without sharing. Why is it? Because we apply certain meanings to dana activity. So why is it? Because Buddha is the clear example of understanding appamada. He knows how important is appamada when it comes to any Dhamma practice, dana, sila, bhavana, whatever other practices. So there are many stories, there are many references that we can understand appamada in many ways. But anyways, what we need to understand is Balanakkatam was a festival, and there were these people who were hurting other people for a week, and then the people asked, devotees asked the Buddha not to come out of the temple because of this issue. And on the 8th day, when they offered dana, the Buddha gave these 2 stanzas about these people's negligence in their life. They have understood the importance of even a moment, they would have never scolded, they would have never badmouthed, used harsh words to put other people down. They would have worked on their life very well. So these 2 stanzas are clearly indicative about the importance of utilizing every moment in our life. Every moment is a precious moment for the practice of Dhamma. Don't wait for the Vesak to become a good person. Don't wait for the Vassa, Katina retreat to be a good person. Be a good person every moment. That is the indication of appamada has come down to your life very well. Otherwise, you think your goodness will arise only when you are part of a very big, giant, good car. All right. Any questions about these 2 stanzas and the stories? Any questions about today's question, the topic?
Bhante, can explain the first stanza, the setan word. What's the meaning? The setan.
Settang iva or settang eva. That means consider appamada to be the greatest. Settanga means greatest. Appamada is the greatest treasure that we have in our life.
Okay, thank you so much, Bhante.
Greatest, yeah. Now, other people, we are calling them treasures in our life. Our family members, yes, we are calling them. But they are leaving us one day. We are leaving them one day, right? Isn't it? Aren't we? Yes, we have to leave them. So then what will become our treasure? Only if we give time to practice more Dhamma things, then that will become the leverage into our next lives. It doesn't mean that we are not treating them, we are not fulfilling our responsibilities for them. We are taking care of them, we are giving our affection, our responsibilities to them. But we understand at the end of the life, they are living, they are going in their life, and you are living in your life. The most important thing that may help you to become a better person was appamada. If you were able to make a lot of good karma, practice more, improve yourself in all these noble eightfold path practice. That is the greatest pressure. That happens through appama. There are some people who need motivation, but once they got the motivation, they can become sotapannas in a moment. Very interesting. One good example is Anathapindika's son. His name was Kala. K long A L A. Anathapindika's son. Anathapindika is the banker who built the temple, Jethavanarama. But his son was not like father. It's like a very socializing man, party man all the time. Never think about anything. I wanted to spend some time for my own spiritual life, to improve my thoughts, improve my motivation, my competency in the practice. So one day, Father Anathapindika devised a plan, smart plan. He told son Kala, can you go to the temple and then listen to a Dhamma talk and come back? I give you this much money. I said, yeah, why not? It's money. He went to the temple. He was just listening to the talk, but he was not listening. He needs money. And he came back. He got the money from the father. Then the next day, the father Anathapindika asked from the son Kala, okay, thank you for going like that, but I need something else today. Can you go to the temple again, listen to the Dhamma talk, learn something out of the Dhamma talk? Actually, if you have been ever asked from another person who have not shown up in a Dhamma talk, how would you answer to that person? Okay, I heard that you went to a Dhamma talk today. Huh? What did you learn today? It's a lot of things. Huh? There are people who are not specific about what they learn, right? So the father Anathapindika said, learn something. Fortunately, that day, the Buddha was giving a Dhamma talk. When Buddha was giving a Dhamma talk, he is looking at the whims and fancies, the real intentions of the people who are sitting down in the hall, not like a normal monk. A monk goes to the Dhamma talk hall and then give a Dhamma talk. Sometimes don't know whether people understand or not. Buddha is looking at who are these people, whether they can understand this particular thing. He saw Kala sat down, Anathapindika's son, very near to him. His plan is to learn the first Dhamma thing he talks and then doesn't listen to any other thing but the Buddha is talking. Just want to capture the first part because that is how he's going to make money today. So the Buddha made a determination, make Kala not be able to understand one Dhamma thing. So he has to synthesize. Make Kala synthesize my Dhamma teaching throughout the time. That means you are not understanding one thing and forget about, ignore the rest of it. May you listen to me all the time throughout my Dhamma talk and then understand one by one, analyze and then synthesize. Now, these two things, these are things we understand Dhamma. Analyzing, that means break into certain factors and then synthesize, means assemble those stuff that we dissected in the Dhamma talk. Then finally what happened? Kala became a Sotapanna. The one who went to listen to a Dhamma talk for money became a Sotapanna. You have never thought that way to go to a vihara and learn Dhamma for money. But what does this mean? That means if the people find the right person, their teacher or the right motivator, their hidden treasures will come out. Their hidden meritorious good karmas will arise. But if you still don't find that right person, your good karmas are still buried down somewhere in your life. That means we need the good inspiration. We need the good motivation for this thing. So appamada is part of that interesting thing. That means Kala's appamada did not take effect until he went to the Jethavanarama to learn Dhamma for money. And then on the third day, what happened? Something very interesting. Now, father doesn't know what happened. Now he became a Sotapanna. Then Buddha used to come to Anathapindika's house every day. And so he thought, I give the money to my son at the end of the dana. Now dana was over. Now he was going to give, okay, here, this is your money. And then he said an interesting stanza, which is also in the Dhammapada somewhere. Patavya eka rajjena saggasa gamanena sabba lokadipachena sotapatti pala. Father, if you give me the ownership of the whole universe, if you give me anything like that, I don't want to accept, because becoming a sotapanna is greater than all those things. Then he understood, my son became a sotapanna, just going to the temple for 2 times, just for money. Very interesting. That means our appamada ability does not normally arise. We also need the right people to witness our ability. So that's very interesting. It's not a solo practice. We should be influenced in the right way, with right condition, with the right people. All right, any questions? We'll take 1 more minute. After that, we'll go to the transfer somewhere else. So that was the only example where someone went to listen to a Dhamma talk just to make money, We never find this kind of example anywhere in the suttas. But it's a very interesting example. In other words, I think everybody is able to
So
become.
one last thing. So his appamada, he didn't really need to work so hard on his appamada because of his past life, good merits, and the conditions.
Past karmas were there, but he didn't find the right condition. And who can help his right conditions light in his life? Sometimes we may have done our past karmas, but we don't find the right conditions and the right people who can make our right conditions light in our path. So we have to pity on all of us, right? Somebody who went to listen to Dhamma talks for money, and then some people who have been every day listening to Dhamma talk. What's going on here? It's not that we have to pity on each other. It's whether we are able to understand appamada in our own life. Right? So we cannot measure this from how much knowledge you have. Sometimes you need a very small example in your life to become enlightened. Very, very small thing. Get understanding. Like Patachara's story. Patachara became an enlightened person just by looking at how the water poured from a high place onto a lower place. It's like how many times we've been looking at cascading waterfalls every time. Oh, waterfalls. But she understood the water that was up over there, how the water was flowing onto the ground. And there is anicca. The water was there earlier, now that water is down there in the river or whatever. And see the changes. And then she could understand life in that way. But for us, we only see, oh, what a beautiful waterfall is that. Because we always think that waterfall is waterfall. We don't look at it from what's happening within the waterfall. Right? It's very interesting stuff. All right. I think there are no questions, I understand. So we are going to transfer the good karmas. May all the good karmas we've been making today, by understanding these 2 stanzas about appamada. We are continuously learning about appamada in different stories, in different aspects. Actually, appamada cannot be understood in one context. We have learned a couple of contexts like this. So may all the good karmas we make in today be transferred to our own departed ones who passed away in the name of all of us. May they be well and happy. May they attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Idammi nyati nang hotu sukita huntu nyatayo. Idammi nyati nang hotu sukita huntu nyatayu. Idammi nyati nang hotu sukita huntu nyatayu. May Deva Naga Mahitika share all these good karmas which we've been doing by discussing Dhamma, engaging in Dhamma discussion, all that. May they be well and happy. May they protect and bless all of us for good health, quality of life, prosperity, and safety. May Deva Naga Mahitika bless us for all the good things and then bless our Dhamma journeys. May we be able to properly utilize, be competent in our own Dhamma quality, virtue. And finally, may Devanaga Mahitika also attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Ittavataj ammihi sambatang punya sampadang sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Ittavataj ammihi sambatang punya sampadang sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Ittavata cha ammihi sammatang punya sampadang sabbe satta anumodantu sabbasang patti siddhya. Akasatta jibummatta devanaga mahitika punyantang anumoditva chiran rakkhanturu kasasanam. Akasatta jibummatta devanaga mahitika punyantang anumoditva Chiran Rakhang Tudi Sanang. Akasatta Chabumata Devanaga Mahindika Punyantang Anumuditva Chiran Rakhang Tumang Paranti Chiran Rakhang Tupan Sanati. At the same time, at the end of any good karma, we are wishing us to be surrounded by Kalyana Mittas. One of the influential factors to practice Apamana is also being able to be surrounded by Kalyana Mittas. So may we be always in the company of Kalyana Mittas. Thinking thus, we go to make the wish. Imina punya kamina mami bala samagamu satan samagamu yavani bana patya. Finally, may all the good karmas we've been making throughout today's online Pali reading class by learning different aspects of Apamada diligence and the drawbacks of negligence Pamada be supportive and helpful for all of us to attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Abhivadana silissa nichang vadha pachaino chattaru dhamma badhanti ayuvanno sukham malang ayurarogya sampatti sagga sampatti mevache ato nibbana sampatti iminati samichyatu. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. With that, our OPRC class is going to end, and we'll be seeing you next Thursday at the same time.
Thank you, Bhante.
Thank you, Bhante.
Thank you, Bhante. Thank you, Bhante. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Thank you, Bhante. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Thank you,
Thank
Bhante.
you. Thank you,
everyone.
Bhante. See you next week. Bye-bye. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Sadhu, Bhante.
Take care, everybody.
Take care
Bye-bye.
too. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Bhante.
Thank you. Yeah, good night. Yeah, thank you, Sumana, for the good karmas you created through the novitiate program. Yes, may all the good karmas be upon everybody here. Yes, thank you.